All right, here we go. By the way, we're going live now. The stream can be found on the District Comedy Facebook page if anybody wants to share it. And now you're visible. And in a second, you're going to be able to be heard. So that's wonderful. And then I'm going to do a little bit at the top just to start our intro. Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Too Funny Feedback. My name's Tom, and co-hosting the show with me, as always, is Lisa. Tonight, each of our comedians will be performing a 5-minute set. After your set, Lisa and I will give about 5 minutes of feedback before moving on to the next comedian. And while we invite discussion during your allotted time, if we don't have time to get to all of your questions, feel free to follow up with us via email or Facebook or something. We'll be happy to go into more depth. And also, if you go into gallery view, you'll be able to see that there's a little, what right now looks like an ominous purple square box. But that's going to be your timer when you start doing your set. So that's how you can keep track of your time. If you need an audible cue, just private message either me or Lisa. And at 1 minute till the end of your set, one of us will go into the mic and say, 1 minute. And to our audience, keep in mind that as we get started, the intention of this program is to help facilitate the growth of comedians who come to us with varying levels of experience, and also comedy is subjective, and you're probably not going to agree with us anyway, but we're learning how to give good feedback, and we're going to be nice to these people who are trying to learn a new craft, and also, if the audience or the comedians enjoy the show and want to support the stream, please consider either sharing it or making a donation of any size at district-comedy.live. And following us on all the platforms can be found in the link description. And finally, I gotta do a quick plug because next Friday, April 16th, we are having some of the funniest people of District Comedy doing a very special, our first time formal showcase here at District Comedy called Fancy Mike. Again, April 16th, that's a Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can get your tickets at district-comedy.com/fancy. And yeah, that's good stuff. Anything else? Nope, that's pretty much it. Okay, I'm going to unpin myself as soon as I decide who the first comic is going to be. Let me see what I put in. All right, this first comic is awesome. He's here, as he mentioned before we started airing, almost every week. I've also, ever since I've known him, been misspelling his name. And that's really fucked up, but I figured out how to spell it correctly today. I also found out that the origins of it in Gaelic mean kind, and he's gonna be your kind of guy. Give it up for John O'Keefe. Woo, 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 woo.
Hello. Oh my God. Please tell me this microphone works okay.
Hell yeah.
Oh, beautiful. So my girlfriend gave me, hello, by the way. It's great to be here. My girlfriend gave me a present for my birthday. It was a cup that said world's best teacher. And I was like, why are you lying to me? Like, if you're lying to me, what else are you lying to me? Do you not like it when I cry? World's best. I'm not even a real fucking teacher. Like, I'm an ESL teacher. We call it TEFL teacher in Europe. TEFL, of course, means teaching English as a frustrated loser. I'm not even a real TEFL teacher. I'm a substitute TEFL teacher. Do you know what that means? That means I cover for people who are too hungover to come in and be better than me. That means I cover for people who got new careers and just forgot to tell their school. They're just like, they'll figure it out. Every single day I think to myself, is it possible to get fired from a fake career? Me getting fired would be a promotion, okay. But cover jobs are weird, right? Cover jobs are weird. Like one time I walked into a classroom without tables. Now, granted, I wasn't at the right school. It was an accountancy firm next door, but still, doesn't that mean something? Sometimes I walk into a cover job and they have no teacher and they haven't had one for weeks or even months. And they always go to me like, are you our new teacher? And I feel like they're my kids and I get to say no. But I understand why your real teacher left. You drove them to it with all these fucking hopeful questions. And then they start crying. You have to start consoling them like it's not your fault. You're not to blame. He didn't have to walk out without telling you he was leaving. Listen, don't blame yourselves, but most importantly, don't blame me, okay? I'm just a sub rat. I don't care. I'm half a page ahead of you. I don't really understand English grammar. Although my job interview was, can you speak English? And I can. So this TEFL cert took a month to get. I don't think it's legal. All I'm saying is the certificate school is closed under investigation. If I'm good for a week, it's because anyone can seem great for a week. I mean, look at God. I mean, in one week he made the world, then an eternity of disappointing everyone. And I'm not God. I'm a TEFL teacher. So teaching is no. I gotta be serious here. TEFL teaching is a really great career for when you decide your dreams are bigger than you. I love my job. I sometimes use a projector to teach vocabulary, words like uncertain and concerned and fearful. Like I literally project my insecurities onto my students. It's the only way they'll learn and the only way I'll teach. People who end up teaching TEFL, like we're not heroes. We're not going to die for what we believe in. No, we're going to take long breaks and then blame the students for not learning English. That's the TEFL way. I can never say I'm a teacher. I just tell people I'm involved with the economy. For me, saying I'm a teacher would be like someone in a cover band saying they're talented. I know, I know I can't teach English the way a normal school teacher can teach English. They have all the real words. So I don't know how much. Okay, I've got like a minute left. So I'm going to do different kinds of TEFL teachers I've noticed. Okay, so one TEFL teacher you'll always come across is an ancient teacher who's been teaching since before dial-up internet. And this guy always has this brown satchel, makes the same money as the day he started. He's worked in 11 countries and left each of them defeated. He's not fun at parties. Then you have the token foreign teacher. This is the only person who actually understands the grammar and the only person really qualified to teach English. Then you have the party guy teacher, at least one time. This guy brings lollipops to work, sells MDMA on the side, and he's always called Kyle. Then you've got the winging it teacher, never prepares, tries to survive on charm. Hint, that's me. Then you have the know-it-all teacher. This fucking teacher knows everything except how much everyone hates them. It's the only thing they're unaware of. Then you have the careerist teacher. This is someone who's decided they do it because they really love being exhausted, underpaid, and underfucked. Yeah, I also don't want healthcare, a pension, or the respect of the wider community. But here's the worst of them all, the newly motivated teacher. Oh my God, this person, they're always come in brimming with enthusiasm. Like, you're not helping, just simmer down. We're not inspired. You won't be here in 6 weeks. Just quit now, get in line for welfare. You just don't realize you've made a terrible life choice. Spare us your glinty, hopeful eyes. Look here, I have an ironic mug I can give you. Okay, guys, that's all from me. Thanks, as always, District Comedy.
Woo, 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 woo! Give it up for John O'Keefe, everybody. Oh my God. So funny, so funny. Let's pause the timer, reset, and jump right into it. So, I thought right off the bat, like, ooh. That's weird. Why is it in Spotlight? Here we go. Now to gallery view. I always say that to you guys as if your guys' screen looks the same as mine, even though it doesn't. But the people watching the stream get what I'm saying because my screen is what they see. But anyway, I thought the mug bit was already very strong off the bat, and I almost thought that it was going to be like you're entering into some of your more relationship-oriented material because I was like, your girlfriend got you a mug for your birthday? That kind of struck me as like, oh, okay, this is where we are now. But it was good. This is like your TEFL-themed set, and I loved it. I thought that you were able to find a lot of different perspectives investigating the same topic. There were still a couple things I thought gave you an opportunity to mine. So like you had one joke where it was like the school without tables.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like there's a tag or maybe another 45 to a minute of material just because schools, I'm assuming, like in other countries, they're also as poorly funded as they are here. But like, just that doesn't surprise me at all that a school wouldn't have tables. That's like the next round of budget cuts. And then I loved the parental, and this is really just like going through the 1 week for God. I feel like that was also the projecting words was like very like emotionally damaged stuff that you. I really like. She's already nodding her head. She's probably gonna. So
Right.
one extra like extra ideas if you want is, and then if you are able to a character really fast, you kind of like give them a quick little personality as you introduce them, and then yeah,
That makes
you
sense.
tied it up at the end by bringing it back to the mug, being ironic. Tear John a new asshole.
All right, now it's here too to like. I'm gonna like first of all, yeah, that was my favorite, and you changed things up. I noticed, seen you before. Ground, your hands
Right.
like it's different. I don't know if you felt.
Getting used to doing it in the stand now, but it's good.
I
Try
like
it out.
Lets you come at the
Yeah.
material a little bit differently. Sitting down or standing up to tell a joke is
You stand up, but I'm being lazy.
like rolling like that. And it didn't take away. I'm just noticing like quick little lines in there. For me, what is it? I think with Tom, he had something. There's something about the mind there. There was the paid it harder, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I think you can get a bigger laugh out of it.
Yeah, I just wrote that like 2 minutes before I came in. So
No,
I
it's good.
probably
It's a
don't
really
have-
good concept of just saying like there's something there. I don't know how to are sort of like you're fit more or like
Yeah.
that was really funny because it stresses how like little you are ahead of them. But the God thing I already said so that's the Tefl way. It made me think of that's the Jedi way. There's a way you can say that, the way you say it.
Yeah.
So there's
What's the Jedi way? I'm sorry,
well,
forgive my
like,
ignorance.
that's the way of like there's a way you could stop and change the pacing.
Yeah.
Like, that's our way. Sort of like a religious mode, like this is the way.
Yeah.
Like it makes me think the Mandalorian. That's why this is the way.
Mm.
So I love all the different things with the list. I know I'm over time, but I'm going to give me one more minute because the list of different characters of the TEFL teachers, I don't necessarily know. Like I usually say go characters, but I feel like with your way of delivering jokes, one little simple gesture, like is it pushing up the glasses?
Yeah, that
start?
makes sense.
If it's
Yeah, just to
someone's really
emphasize
happy,
it.
like you can start with a simple gesture to show that you're changing it, and you don't necessarily have to make a voice or a full character. But I think there needs to be a suggestion of them of a demeanor. You can make it a simple gesture. Does that make sense?
That makes totally makes sense.
As comfortable going to, but I agree with Tom.
Yeah,
There's character opportunity there and work, but I also don't want to make you, if it's not in your what you like to do or in your wheelhouse, play with it.
Yeah.
See what feels most natural to you, so you can develop a character that or a way to distinguish those people physically. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Totally.
All right.
100%.
All of that, but I really enjoyed it. Oh, my last idea. I have a really ironic mug for you. Could you drink out of your world's best teacher mug at the end?
That makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a thought. The way to button
Fair
it.
enough.
You're like, I don't know. But I really wanted to see your
sense.
mug at the end.
Yeah.
Great
That
job,
makes sense.
John. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, and thank you, John. Give it up one more time for John, everybody. Woo! Okay, so up next, got another comedian here. I've been seeing them at TBJ recently, so it's good to see him here. Welcome to Too Funny Feedback. It's just like TBJ, except you get an extra minute and we yell at you. But give it up, they're very funny. Jessica Hudson, everybody. Woo, 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 woo! Woo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tom. This is such a great open mic and such a great concept. So here goes. I just turned 40. And I want you to know that 40-year-old women are not all dried up. I am not dry at all. I am super wet down there because I just started my period. I realized I'm going backwards, kind of like Benjamin Button, but instead of getting younger in my age, I'm getting younger with my life choices. I'm making some bad decisions. I stay up late every night, even though I work full time and I should be in bed. I smoke weed like a high school freshman, even though I told my 18-year-old self that I would quit at 40. I play Twister at slumber parties. It's my favorite activity. And then my back fucking hurts the next day. But compared to my friends who are 40, tied down in a marriage with kids, I'm killing it. I live with my mom. My mom is so Mexican that I have to translate her English into English for people. I should say I roommate with her though. She does pay the rent, but I do the dishes. Last week she caught me smoking weed in my room, and I was pretty embarrassed because, of course, my 70-year-old Mexican mom doesn't know what weed is. So she asked me, what are you doing? It smells like a skunk in here. I told her I'm relaxing. And she said, oh, okay. I want to relax too. Blow it in my face. If only I'd known my mom wanted to relax with me when I was younger, I would have gotten her so fucking high. She wouldn't have remembered that I didn't go to college. No, I really thought my life was going to be more traditional at 40, married to a man, married to a decent man, have some kids. But instead I found out that I'm a lesbian.
Woo.
Well, at least that's what my horoscope said. I am really gay though. I even got I got a tattoo of my cat's paw prints because I love pussy. No offense to the guys in the room, but I would rather date someone with a menstrual cycle. The real key ingredient in spicing up a relationship is always having a backup tampon. Coming out as gay was challenging, not for me, but for everybody in my life. My family was just confused. I had a boyfriend growing up. He was a goth kid who wore a pleather skirt, and we shared the restroom to put on lipstick together. My dad didn't like that. I told him it was innocent. We were putting on makeup. He should have had a clue then. He really should have told me not to use the restroom with my friends who were girls, because that's where it began. I introduced my girlfriend and my family for the first time, and of course I said, here's my girlfriend, and I had to kind of convince them, and they thought I meant a friend, of course, who happened to be a girl. And I said, here's my partner. They thought I started a business. And they were so proud. But I told them, no, we're lesbians. We go on dates at Home Depot. My mom kept referring to my girlfriend as a he. To be fair, my girlfriend does look like a teenage boy. So naturally, she thought I started babysitting again. I played softball growing up, so my parents should have kind of had a clue, because you know how softball players talk. When we say sliding into home, we actually mean scissoring. Most people think I look like a Jewish girl from New York, who can take a big dick. I'm not Jewish. I'm out of time and I have a lot more, but I'll stop it there since the clock ran out. Thank you.
Give it up for Jessica Hudson, everybody! Awesome, awesome,
Thank you
awesome.
so much.
Yeah, that was really fun. I feel like I'm also lucky that I've gotten to like see some of the material before, because I do really like it, and you also did some new stuff this time, which I appreciated. I love the misdirect you start off with, saying you're wet down there and then it's because of your period. I think that's a really like quick way to kind of like get people in and get people to know what kind of the tone is going to be for the set. And then the comparison for like Benjamin Button, but with your like life choices, I thought was strong. And you have a strong rule of threes in there. And then the only thing I was wondering about was if the Twister at sleepovers was intended to be an innuendo or not. and if it is, maybe if there's a way to emphasize that a little bit more. Because like Twister is like a normal thing you would do for like slumber parties. But then because I've seen your set before and I already knew that you were a lesbian, I was like, is this gonna be like a thing? And then I wasn't sure if it was a thing or not, but it was still funny either way. I love the translate English to English. I'm also like, come on, mom, you're how old and you don't know what weed is? Come on. But like just the I want to relax too, very relatable. Oh God, and this one I hadn't seen in previous set, but or maybe I just missed it, but like getting her so high that she doesn't remember that you went to college. I loved that one. And then horoscope strong. This is really just a list of like things that I liked about it. I think that you have room to play with in the when you're talking about like, you know, we go on dates to Home Depot, we're actually lesbian. I think that's funny and that's strong as like a go-to, but also that is somewhere where if you want to play around with your material, you can just kind of play with plugging in different like lesbian stereotypes there for like the different places you can go on dates to. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I mean, I really liked your set, so I feel like I don't have too many notes. Um, part of me's like, I'll try harder next time to try and make up something I don't like about your set. I don't know. Go ahead, Lisa, take it away.
I really enjoyed it. As to woman over 40, I understand. Called the fucking 40s for a reason. But I like that what I always come in with, and John has heard this, and I think someone else said, I call it point of view, POV. So we want to know who you are, and I like that you come into telling us, but it's not. I like how it's sort of you unveil yourself, like the layers, kind of like here I'm starting, and you do it in a very. I like your pacing. I think that's one of your strengths is sort of this like just casual sort of feel like, yeah, I'm just gonna lay this layer and that, and it invites us in and gets to know you. And I like that. But I also like that you also have this nice casual nature, but you're saying some really like, oh, hot damn stuff. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, not dry at all there, like stuff like you're like, okay. And like Tom says, it really establishes who you are quickly. But I do enjoy the energy with that sort of like, I'm gonna say it just not in your face, but I like that you're being very graphic and being very specific about it. I love and unapologetic, which I enjoy. So I like what is it? I'm saying the pacing. I like making was it getting younger, but with my bad life choices, and I liked the list there and the twister. I think there was an opportunity for the innuendo of more of a twister if you want. My back hurts. I like that. But I love that I'm killing it, which was one of my favorite moments. I'm killing it compared to my married friends. And then I love how you had that long space. I live with my mom. That's the stuff that really sort of gets us and brings us in. We have wouldn't have remembered. I really like the voice you did with your mother. So I'm very into, my background is theater. So I enjoy, you can go further with that because you talk about how she can't be understood you have to translate her English to English for people. So have fun with that. That's a really fun opportunity. And as long as she doesn't mind, because you do live with her, and if there'll be repercussions, I'm not sure later. But it's the risk you get to take, you choose to take. The decent man, I like how you kind of added that in, a decent man, because that is important to know. But the back on tampon thing, as a female, I know exactly what you mean with that backup tampon. I feel like this is an opportunity for maybe you have an opportunity, you can dive into that mind a little more opportunity for maybe another just become blood sisters in the bathroom and partner in the business. I just really enjoyed it, or I'm not Jewish, like you going with that. The screen. This is one thing with a screen, just things because you guys made that helps you insist.
I haven't memorized my sets, scared I'm going to forget. So I have it up.
And also having it written and it's not that you can, for some people, imagine
the screen. For listening and giving me some.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure it's also going to be a good time. Corey Seckinger. Wait, that's not. There we go.
So I'd son of Gunzo. She was like Survivor. And trust me, this friend recently died from drinking a bottle of. But I'm also ago when I was taking my annual bath. I took my left foot out. It's not funny. My therapist said I need to turn my. But you guys may have seen me before. Not to catch a predator. Work in the States. Yeah. Now I get it. I look like Gollum if he shopped at Value Village. If Charlie Brown and Freddy Krueger had a love child. I get it. I went into a Halloween store and a kid thought I was 11 and some old lady handed me $5 bad. But they're always like, oh. I mean, just when it gets better, it's testicle. But when people hear that, they say, don't. My personal favorites, oh, I give my love up for $1 million. Really? Are you volunteering? Because I could use a fucking spare. But there are some advantages. It's like when it's cold out, I don't have to worry about freezing my balls off. So you go. Whenever I teabag a chick, it's always decaffeinated. It didn't mean much. Like for years, women have been telling me to wear a mask and stay the fuck away from them.
Oh, jeez.
and I anxiety. So like I'm always afraid that I'm gonna shit myself. I get a Billy dog in the airport. Then a little while later I went to the liquor store. I shit myself. And someone just remember I'm not crazy.
Woo woo! All right. Get that timer ready there. And jumping right into it. Okay. So you're set. Considering maybe in because just telling jokes is that when you're on right, when I want to unpack this later, but I thought the even cancer left me joke was really funny. The great thing about all those jokes is that they either like kind of talk about something that maybe you're actually vulnerable about or tell us something about you, and like it's funny, and like maybe if you put it later in your set it'll come off more I think how you intended, but in general like I kind of want to get to here in the set, but like I said, I really like the even cancer left me joke. I think that like that's definitely you can mind as far as like being a stick with the joke. Maybe it will like connect more to the bit about being a cancer survivor. So it's not just it like will I think make more sense and connect a little bit more. And then I won't go into too much about your box because that's Lisa's territory. But I didn't catch all of it just because there was I think some noise going on in the background and a couple moments where I think maybe your connection was cut here parts of your set. But from what I saw, I thought it was great stuff and like some great premises to build on, and you got a lot of fun.
To jump in because I'm gonna unfortunately say the same things would go out, so I wouldn't get to hear the whole joke. The Stone Cold Steve Austin, you definitely have this demeanor of this self-deprecating humor, but because you look like this, I like that you're talking about the way you look versus the way you are inside, and I think this is a great opportunity in my experience. So I really couldn't enjoy as much as I wanted to because I just didn't. So I'm not sure how that making sure your connection is strong. Space that won't get it have a little girl, and I used to have a husband, and I was in a closet too, like in a walk-in closet, like put stuff up against safest space that you can deliver your comedy in a way that it has nothing to do, like the outside world won't get in your way. So I encourage that. I know that everyone has that, and that's really hard a way to talk about it through your comedy. Yeah. I think that's really funny, and I think it's very tough to catch all of them. So you're the duty free, and I do like a good pun or a funny joke, a guffaw, as you're going to say, as I would say, self-deprecating humor or being. I think that is the material. And also, like I said, this outside appearance, and you talk about it, actually this other person inside, and have all these, like, in some ways, the back to it, that connection, and then and it was a good and self-deprecating.
Everybody, woo! I gotta scroll back through the chat, and I'm like 90% confident. Give it up for Uriah! Yeah!
Put it on the show.
Woo! Woo!
And kidding. My last name is disgusting. It's a disgusting last. And boy, our month, actually that time of the month, they're actually the Jesus that I tried to neighbor myself. I just turned 30, like some people my age, because it really sucks in your 40s. I mean, your body starts changing. I'm getting a double chin tunnel back there. It's disgusting. My head, more often than not at this age, very patchy. Some Native Americans as I pass by them, and that was my grandfather calling me that. I'm like, okay, man, but icy hot, smelly bases. Lift because I mean I'm a recovering sex an hour ago, and I'm ready. Let's go bang one because I'm married. Also, have had alcohol addiction on rum cake. I was like, wow. Yeah, I was like 2 or 3 years old, and I was like, Mommy, more blackouts, please, more blackouts. Yeah, and in my 20s, I just had a major drinking problem, and the problem was I couldn't afford it, so I had no friends. Nobody wanted to hang out with me. In my 30s, it destroyed, when I could afford it, it destroyed a lot of my very important relationships, very meaningful ones. One in particular, very meaningful, was because of a threesome. If you're in a marriage, or like, this is the person I'm going to marry, this is the one I'm going to be forever with, don't have a threesome, because it's true. Threesomes destroy marriages, especially when your partner isn't involved. That should be a prerequisite. That should be a prerequisite. Yeah, not good. But yeah, I've been trying these things and to try to help cure my addictions. Like last year, I did Sober October. In November, I did No Nut November, and I'm surprised that they don't have something for December, like Kill Yourself December, because what's the point of not being able to drink and bust a nut? You know, it's just like, kill me now. But I'll leave you off with this, guys. But I've also tried mushroom therapy. I don't know if you're familiar with mushroom therapy. Mushrooms, they contain a chemical psilocybin, and I did that, and it cured a lot of my addictions. And but I did get addicted to mushrooms, and yeah, I was. It led to addiction to jam bands and women with hairy armpits. So yeah. Thank you, guys. My name's Uriah Hawkes.
Woo, 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 woo! Give it up for Uriah Hawkes, everybody. Woo, woo, woo! I know I didn't say it right that time either, but I think
you
it
did,
was much
you did,
better.
you did.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about me saying people's names wrong. Let's talk about your set as soon as I figure out how to remove the spotlight from you. There we go. Awesome. We're like a year into the pandemic, and I'm finally figuring out technology. Cool. So I thought that it was a really strong set. I think that a strength of yours is that you do misdirects really well. And I even kind of like didn't mind certain points of your set where I feel like if it was another comedian who hadn't established the pace that you had, I would have minded. Like there was, I think it was the threesome joke specifically, where it worked really well when you had a longer setup where you're like being serious about like threesomes ruining marriages, and then twisted it. So great job. And then like in general, I thought that you have a lot of interesting stuff to talk about in your set, and I think that people like hear 5-minute set, and you can go 2 different directions with it. I know a lot of people, when it's a 5-minute set, They try and like put their best stuff all together for like each of like their main categories of things. And I find that that works really well a lot of the times, especially if you're submitting a clip somewhere. Um, but I also try and encourage people if you want to come back and try more stuff, I would say like maybe pick one thing or two things tops, whether it's the alcoholism or the sex addict, and then see, because again, like those are big topics and you probably have a lot to talk about. And you probably have a lot of that material done already and you just couldn't fit it in 5 minutes. And it's like, I really love when people are able to dig in and like mine into those really rich topics. I loved Blacked Out on Rum Cake. I thought that was great. Because I could do that with most sweets. But Couldn't Afford Drinking Problems was another great one. Early 20s, and then I thought that your earlier bit about like the back of your neck being like a, what was it, a reverse Mitch McConnell. I thought that was really fun, and that one is also one where if you ever need to, which like if for whatever reason I would hope that Mitch McConnell isn't always like the ever present known figure that he is right now. But like either if he's not recently in the news and people have forgotten about him, or you're like doing a set, especially with Zoom, for a region of the world that isn't as familiar with figures in American politics, that's also a really fun place where you can plug in almost whoever you want, depending on where your audience is, and it's like a good way to kind of direct your set if you are like given the opportunity to know who your audience is going to be ahead of time. So just letting you know that that's an area you can plug in to kind of suit your needs. I even and like yeah, we can talk about the addiction stuff too, but I feel like there's even like a bunch of stuff you could go into with like the Native American roots. And so oh my god. And I just want to say this is the first time also I've heard Zoom Boom Breakout Room. Thought that was really fun, and even more so, ironically, I don't know if you've checked out the other district comedy shows that we offer, but on Sundays we have a Jacking Off with Friends Jackbox game night. So that, again, is for this particular audience, definitely hit home. But yeah, I feel like I said some things I liked. I said some things that you could change, and that's what feedback is. So good job, Tom.
Thank you. No, I enjoyed it. Thank you for coming tonight. So I really like how you started it off about the name thing, like how you just went right into it. And we're, 'cause I always like when you're great ways to welcome everyone, that like something that's just happened. So we're staying present in the Zoom comedy world, because it's very easy to sort of just focus in on your set, and it in like sort of they're just screens. And I love when people start anytime they're set, but when you really start in our topical or in the moment, you're making everyone present with you and starting you that way. I think that that's a great way to start any set off. And also, so we are probably very curious on how to say your name. So I like that you right away, you know that we're gonna see that. So you already, you have a place to start from and jump off for. My wives are tired. See, I do like a good pun. I do like my wives are my wives really tired. But why I like it more so is that it segues into other things, like the Jesus. I think out of all of those, that beginning, like my Jesus was way too brown, and Middle Eastern for them was my favorite. Like it was leading towards that. So and then you know who you remind me of a little bit of the way he delivers things? I want to say it's Kevin McDonald. Do you remember him on SNL? He would be the guy that would leave, that I'm older. He might know because he says he's my age. He would say something after, sort of like he thinks you're one thing, and then add that last bit and twist it. You have that sort of pacing and demeanor. And I enjoy that. It's sort of, so I say keep leaning into that. The third, like it was a perfect example. I just turned 30, 15 years ago. Like you let the joke sort of marinate, like let it be, and then you come in and put that right on top. I do like the double chin part with the back of the neck. I thought that was really funny, and I like that you showed it to us. I like that you got physical, like you showed us your head and you took off the hat. These are things that are great tools with the Zoom comedy, because you really have to, like I said, it's my box. I can do whatever I want with it. So incorporating those small movements make a big impact. So I like that, and it enhances the comedy and what you're saying. Yeah, I wrote nice hat move. So yay. The whole Native American joke. So the one thing I was like, initially I was like, oh, but because you're Native American, I feel like that's why you can, like, when you add in the grandfather that you said, that was great. And there's a lot of stuff you can mine there, like Tom said. The CBD icy hot smell, that was funny. I want to also notice how you were holding the mic, and it was really nice. You were grounded, and I enjoyed that your movement, what always like sort of just helped your comedy. There wasn't a lot of extraneous sort of movement. I will say I did notice this, and this isn't a big deal. I just noticed it. So I want to tell you, you have a mic here and then you have the earbud here. It's different. There's nothing wrong with it. I just want to be like, it made in my brain when a question comes up, because I'm looking for those things, like, oh, that's different. I haven't seen that, where they have the two different ways. And I don't know, just if it's a choice, awesome. If it's something, I just want you to know that people notice it. Zoom Boom Room was really fun. I love fun sounding things. Blacked Out Rum Cake. This is my one before I go. Little kid voice. I would love it to hear a little kid voice. You can go further with that character. Use it like asking for more blackouts. Like, I think that's an opportunity for a real character moment. And it shows up, it sort of changes the pacing a little bit, and it's another way, because you are hitting a lot of subjects in this set. So knowing that, like, this is another way to change up the energy for a moment, and it keeps us off guard, but it's also can be really funny. So I say, yeah, that was pretty much what I had for the most part, and I do enjoy the mushrooms, the whole, and I think there's you could do the rule of 3 with jam bands and hairy armpits, and then there's the rule of, so you could go with another thing that's different. All right, thank you so much.
Cool, thank you guys. This is great. I've never been to a critique type of mic, so yeah, keep it up. This is awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God. You knew beforehand though, right?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
cool. Okay, sometimes like I always I want to definitely remember to mention that, just in case somebody comes in and they're like, I was trying to do a set and now they're like tearing it apart.
Title. We always hope that they at least look read it.
Yeah, that's true. It is in the title. That's fair. But give it up one more time, everybody. And give it up also for our final headliner of the evening. She's the Romanian sensation all the way from Spain. Give it up for Simona. Woo, 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 woo.
Hey. Just 1 second. I don't like to see myself. I'm gonna put myself on gallery. Yeah. Don't have makeup on. So I miss live shows for one reason. I don't know how to measure my success on Zoom. I know some comedians measure by number of laughs per minute, but I like to measure by the number of stalkers. You know, creepy guys following me home, sending private messages in the name of their dicks, then getting mad, and then getting mad because my vagina doesn't answer. Stupid vagina doesn't know how to type. There was this guy that used to stalk me. Oh, how I miss him now. One day I answered the door and he was standing there, being very happy to see me. He was actually delivering the food I ordered through Uber Eats. And I said, no, true story. And I said, oh, this is great. Now you know where I live and you also have my phone number. And just, kill me now. I have nothing on my calendar for the next couple of years. Yeah, I feel I need to talk about the elephant in the room. The thing that bothers us all. I have to. It's so relatable, and I know you all love the subject of me being from Romania. Yeah, it's a That's the subject. I think it's a feel-good subject. It's a reminder for you all. It can always be worse. So yeah, I am originally from Romania, and that I know that explains a lot. And I bitch a lot about my people and country, but actually Romania is pretty great, especially if you don't live there anymore. Yeah, you know how people clap on planes in different parts of the world? Well, Romanians only clap when the plane arrives safely in a better country. Yeah, I'm not happy. Never been, never will. I don't care for it. Happiness, what is it good for? You know, you can't eat it, you can't fuck it. Well, I guess you can fuck it, but anyway. Um, I love how Americans say, "Oh, I'm not very happy about that or the other." I love it, but I don't understand it. I mean, why do you need to be very happy? I mean, can't you be slightly content like the rest of us? No, and this whole obsession with being great and great again. I know, it sounds good. I also tried to incorporate great in my name, like Catherine the Great. But I mean, in all honesty, I'm more of a Simona the Tired. So yes, instead of USA, the greatest country in the world, be honest and say, USA, we are struggling. And that's how you become relatable. Yeah, I like booming on mics. This is why sometimes I say jokes about subjects no one relates to, like communism. That's a great subject for comedy. Yeah, and then I see other people complain about, I don't know, a dry cookie. And I mean, no, I get it. Dry cookies are the worst. I mean, I know, people are dying, but people are dying out there in the world. My cookie is here and I hate it. It's ruining my day. I am actually talking about a cookie, just to be clear. And my tea bag has a fucking message, and it says, never try to impress others, try to impress yourself. That's fucking annoying. That's real. I mean, really. I hate it. Have any of you had a near-death experience? Yeah? Yeah, that's great. I know, people have this obsession with staying alive and there are all these preconceived ideas about death being bad with no actual proof. And I'm like, let me have my own experience. I want to be able to enjoy it fully. And I had a near-death experience, and I know some of you are like, don't give spoilers, I want to see that later. Well, I will only say this. My life flashed before my eyes, and it was kind of sad because I haven't done much, so it was more like a GIF. My time is up. I had something more, but that's enough. Thank you so much.
Woo, 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 woo. Give it up, boss and Mona, everybody. Normally in that sort of situation, I would say, go ahead and tell your last joke. But then I have found also that when that happens, it is really hard to say something in between a comedian's jokes at all. So,
Tom!
Never try to impress others. Okay, so we'll jump into it with that, even though that'll make me jump around a little bit. But, like, that is great. Like, how serendipitous, I guess, that was your teabag just now. I don't know if that's what they all say, but that is great. And I feel like there's a joke in there about, like, Jesus, my life is at a point where I'm taking advice from my tea. Like, I'm not a psychic or something dumb like that, but funnier.
That's great.
I already think that you're funny, so a lot of these are just going to be tags to what you already have. in general, I think that one thing that is really very strong for this set that you've done tonight, even though you have other strengths, is like I'm kind of feeling like you're digging into like that whole sad clown vibe, and it's really working for me. I think that like it's really working with like especially the current climate the world is in. Like it's working really well for you. As far as tags, I had for you go into this bit where you're like, I know we're going to talk about that thing that's really frustrating about Zoom rooms. I'm from Romania. And I think that there's a good opportunity to interrupt yourself there and kind of be like, because this is actually what I thought you were going to say, because I'm insecure, is I thought you were going to say, now time to address the elephant in the room, the thing we hate about all Zoom mics, our host Tom. No, just kidding, that I'm from Romania. Like, that might be something fun you can do if you want to, like, it's also something that you can, like, do to specify to the room you're in, and again, another way where you can kind of assert yourself into the present. And then I also thought that, like, even though you touch on a few different topics, they did have an overarching theme which connected them together for me, which was that kind of relative experience. Like, judging people's happiness relative to your own, and then, like, Romanian happiness relative to, like, other countries, and I thought that was very smart. I also liked, maybe this one wasn't part of that joke, but I also liked the vagina trying to type. And also, and maybe Lisa can better articulate what it was about this moment, but I really liked the, you were like in the middle of telling your joke about the guy with the Uber, and then you like interrupted yourself and said like, no, true story, and like, that cracked me up for some reason. Like, because I was, it did sound like a bit at that point to me. And then when you said true story, it took me by surprise. And then, yeah, also great stuff with the dry cookie not being a euphemism. Again, like I liked all the jokes, and then hopefully, those tags add on to it. But, that's it for me.
Thank you.
I think your really great strength. I really enjoyed this set as well, and you know this is your second time hearing me last week, and it was all new material pretty much. Yeah, it was all. Is that you're so present. You even like true story, like like even the teabag thing, or you're very present in the room. Like I feel like we're in a Zoom room to you, but I feel like you're really aware of how we are together and really talking to us. And I think that's one of your greatest strengths, and it helps and just enhances your comedy and all the jokes you have, and that you take a moment, like you heard when I said who's had a near-death experience. I was like, oh yeah, I have. That's great. Like it was wonderful. I don't know if you expected us to respond, but I'm also in the way of like someone asks me something, even in the Zoom like world, I respond because I feel like that's also what you're in a real room with comedy. You know, not that we're not. You know what I mean? In a physical, we're all there together. You get a reaction from the audience. So I wanted to give it to you, and you were so present about hearing it and going, oh, okay. It was wonderful. But you have that way to do it. That was the biggest example I have of that. But you do that the whole way through. I love the whole my vagina, my stupid vagina doesn't know how to type. Like that was really funny because I know we did how you had a different take with the dick jokes with this material this time. I enjoyed that. But what was I saying? There's just so many things I really enjoyed. You have this great way of being really casual and present, and then like taking a sharp left turn. Like, we are struggling, and like that was it. Like, and I expected to do something else with this big tagline. You know, like that I was going to be able to put on a hat, like something else, you know? And, we're struggling. Like, and that's what I like. I feel like even when I think I'm starting to figure out the joke, I'm not. And that's how you keep it so present. And keep the communism versus the dry cookie thing. That was awesome. that was excellent because, you have this you're self-deprecating, but in a way that's just sort of, I don't know if you know made me think this is just a reference, like an Eeyore kind of vibe. I don't know if you're Winnie the Pooh. He's always like, like the world's awful, but that's okay. Kind of like presence. But you love Eeyore so much, or I do. So I think that was wonderful. And then the tea bag, bringing it up and showing us, because that's something you can do in the Zoom room. That's a way to exercise, like, look at that, and showing us. I thought that was awesome, and another way to keep us present with you. Yeah, just keep going with that. I think that I love when you take those left turns and doing that and staying present. And when you think, I like that you're very aware of, you don't think a joke is, if you're like, oh, hey, do I have your attention, or am I communicating well? You dive into that versus back away. And that's, keep doing that. So that's what I have to say. So thank you.
Cool.
Oh my
And
God, guys,
actually,
you're awesome. You're so nice,
Yeah.
and you give great feedback.
Thanks.
That really helps.
And I actually just thought of something while Lisa was talking, because I agree that you have a really great way of staying present. So because of that, and this might not be the specific room to do it in, it might be something you do at TBJ where it's more full of people. But if you want to challenge yourself, I think that the fact that you're so good at staying present, you may want to try, and it's harder on Zoom, but delving into crowd work and really getting experience with riffing with the audience, just because, again, I think that your writing's already pretty strong, and if you have a knack for being present and in the room with people anyway, if that's something that you're able to do on Zoom, it's going to be that much more important building that skill now, and then when you take it to live rooms, it's just gonna be a good way to prep yourself and challenge yourself and get you some more experience. Since apparently me and Lisa just like love you already anyway and think your jokes are great.
Oh, I love
so...
you guys too. You're awesome. But the thing with I already worry so much about my accent and saying words correctly and being understood. So it's really hard for me to improvise in English. I started doing comedy in English about a month and a half ago, so it's
Are
hard.
you kidding me? I know people who as well as you from America, so I don't know. Well, dude.
Such
So,
oh my
that's
god.
amazing, and it just shows that our educational system.
Yeah, I'm still gonna challenge you to do that, because
Ours
that
sucks as
you're
well.
already somewhere like this a month in. I think that it's going to be a slight learning curve for you, so you'll be fine.
Which makes me think why you're part of the reason you're so present, or it's probably a skill, is because you really are finding the words and making sure, like, that's probably something. Maybe that's an aspect of why. I mean, don't change it, but I'm thinking that maybe it's actually it helps, like, making sure. I don't know, the way your brain works. It works, and I would never have thought you just started doing comedy a month and a half ago in English.
In English, yeah.
Yeah. But either way, you're not obligated to. Just if you want to challenge yourself, if you feel more comfortable, maybe down the
I would
road, you're
love
happy to do that.
to do that,
And
but
then also, yeah, that's I'm gonna take us out. Thank you guys all for tuning in to another episode of Complimenting Simona. For another episode of Too Funny Feedback. Before we go out, I just want to again say thank you to my awesome co-host Lisa, to all of our comedians for being so open to feedback. And again, if you want to support the stream, you may have noticed that little donation bar down there with the monthly goal. You can do so at district-comedy.live, or also hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Or if you want to check out Fancy Mike, because we're trying to pay our talent, you can go to district-comedy.com/fancy for that. And yeah, if you want to be on the next show, the link for that's in the description. Otherwise, thank you guys again for coming out and being with me tonight and for watching.